And I had a thought.
I also had a thought.
Me too.
We all had a thought.
Did we all have the same thought?
Let's say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. So
Well,
I
so
thought
maybe
that
she
maybe
went
Morrigan
crazy.
went out
Someone
with...
did.
Okay, this doesn't work. You're listening to Getting Fae'd. We,
Maike.
Lea?
and Lucas are reading A Code of Mist and Fury for the very first time. Today we are covering chapters 30 and 31. Get Fae'd with us!
Woo!
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Doing good.
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Lea?
Tired, but what else is new?
Yeah, I feel like we have two kinds of episodes. We have one tired kind, because we record in the evening after we ate. And then we have a hungry kind of an episode, where we record earlier but haven't eaten yet. Today we are full, and thus quite tired.
Not too tired, though, to talk about some
Yes.
hey shit.
I'm very awake.
Yes, because these are quite some absolutely astonishingly eventful chapters that will keep us awake. That was a joke.
Don't be so mean.
That's not mean. I did not say I don't like these chapters. They're just some downtime chapters.
And this kind of downtime is kind of the downtime I was looking forward to, so...
Because it's
That's nice.
sexy and sweaty.
And especially training.
Yeah, it's training.
And training.
It's naked bodies. Half-naked bodies.
Schneekies.
No, Maike, we do not see the snakies.
Yet.
Yet.
But before we head towards the snakies, maybe we talk about what happened before.
Yes, Maike.
No. Don't make me do it.
You seem so alert and awake. Do you remember what happened in the last episode?
No, I turned 26 yesterday and I forgot everything I knew before that.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Maike. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ka-chow.
We don't actually dox your birthday to the internet because people don't know the date of this recording.
Sneak, sneak. Cyber security.
Well, but all our listeners, please feel free to leave a kind birthday wish in the comments for Maike anyways.
And now, recap.
Go.
Okay, Feyre and Rysand did not kiss. This is where we
Scandal.
started laying on top of each other.
Yum, yum.
But then they went home. And then we went into Rysand's brain. And we got his
Right.
POV for a second. And we learned about Tamlin closing off Springcourt. And we learned about the army growing. And we learned about Asriel torturing the Etter. And we learned about Asriel's a bit darker and unhinged side, which I really liked.
And his funny little dagger.
Right? We hated on his stupid dagger's name. Truth teller.
Yes.
Let me tell you the truth. It's a stupid name. And then I do not remember what happened
It
in chapter
was
29.
quite the vibey.
Didn't they go
Stroll.
out eating?
They went to a restaurant.
Can I not finish my sentence? Okay. Fuck you, I guess.
They went to a restaurant. And we learned Amren drinks blood.
Good for her.
Of course she does.
Little Vampy Girl.
Nice.
And then the gang went dancing, except for Rysand and Feyre.
And Amren, who
Right, she
got more
went-
blood.
And
Then Reese and Faye, Rhaera, had a little kind of romantic talk on this bridge over the river.
but again didn't kiss. So we
Yeah.
ended the episode the way we started it.
Pop quiz. What's
Kissless.
the river called?
Sidra.
Yes.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
So proud of myself.
Nice.
I was about to say, City River. Which
City
can be
River.
shortened to Sidra.
Do you think that's the way she
Yes.
came up with the name?
City River? Yeah, probably.
I don't know if this is a way too long tangent, but for a story I wrote when I was a bit younger, there was a small town. And in German, the word for a very small town is Dorf. And I really didn't know what to name this. So just to keep writing, I named the village Frod, which is
Nice.
Dorf backwards. And then I never changed it. And I had people read that and no one caught it.
Nice.
Which is funny.
Nice.
So maybe she was like, City River, City River, Sidra.
I mean,
she called the guy stuck in a piece of jewelry Jurian, so I wouldn't
And she
put it
named
past
the
her.
turning Fae girl who's good at archery, Feyre Archeron.
But
So,
I have to say, Sidra as the river doesn't sound like
City
as
River.
lazy as like
Yeah, it's a
Feyre
fun.
Archeron.
You are correct. I think it sounds cool, Sidra.
Yeah. Well, the bottom line is we learned some new stuff in these last chapters, and in these chapters it's time for Feyre to finally learn some new stuff.
Yay!
Meaning it's finally training time. Because
Yay!
Cassian makes good on his promise to teach Feyre some punching skills, some fighting stance, and we cut into a little training session on top of the House of Wind, like a training area that's carved from rock. It's like a small little arena, basically, and that's where they spar. Copyright.
I was very happy that the training has finally really started.
Yes, we've talked so much about it, and I'm here for the training. And let me just say, to say that Feyre's out of shape would be quite an understatement.
Has she ever been in shape?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, in the circumstance of almost starving to death every other week, she was kind of in shape when she was hunting out in the forest as a child.
Yeah.
But she was obviously not in good shape mentally and physically when she lived with the T-Man, with Tamlin at Springcourt. So she's quite out of shape. It feels like her bone structure does not really support her anymore. But I appreciate the effort. And I also appreciate the book for not just making her instantly good
Yes.
at everything.
I mean,
Because I don't like when that happens.
she also still has to get used to her new body and how to use it in this new kind of way.
I also liked how descriptive this whole training scene is. I mean, we can already say, like, both chapters are training, mostly. But the way they train is very descriptive. And it kind of felt like she Googled, like Sarah J. Maas Googled, how do I train fist fighting and stuff? And then she, like, actually wrote everything down she learned. But I like that. It's a big contrast to, like, book one, where this would
Yeah.
have been like, and I trained, period. Next
Yeah.
chapter.
I also like, obviously, Cassian is her sparring partner, her coach, I guess.
He shines in these chapters.
Yeah, I like that we get to see a serious side of him. And like when he trains her, he is serious and is like, show me what you got. But not in a like way that you would imagine from Cassian, I guess.
Yeah, I also think the scene is written in a nice way. I think Cassian kind of grew on me during these chapters.
Yeah.
What have I written down here?
Oh, interesting thought I had. Great.
Okay, I mean, Mike and Leah,
Yes?
you obviously just mocked my reading my notes, but for me it's actually interesting because I wrote these notes down 2 weeks ago, and I'm truly surprised by my fascinating insights that I had into these chapters. I'm surprising myself here.
Then
I need some
enlighten us,
time.
please.
I need some time to decipher my handwriting, but when I'm done, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Well, multiple things. No, it's 2 things. about Asriel's return just enlightened me.
Right.
Because Asriel is back, and he apparently went out to scout the Queen's palace to see if he can forge a connection there, because they have a half of the book. That's the whole thing. And he ran into some sort of barrier around the Queen's palace and is quite frustrated upon his return. And I had 2 thoughts about that. First of all, is this confirmation that all 6 queens live at one place?
It kind of sounds like it. It says the Queen's Palace.
Yeah,
One
I
palace.
double-checked.
Yeah.
Yes.
The apostrophe is not in front of the S, but
Yeah,
after the
yeah.
S.
Yeah, it's
so
funny,
it's
I'm-
multiple queens.
It's funny, I marked the scene too, and I also had 2 thoughts on that.
Oh, really?
And one is, is it one palace? And then later on it gets mentioned that there are multiple Queen's courts. Like it says courts, but it's just one palace.
Okay. They were roommates.
Maybe our theory of the palace being the place they come together to rule the whole thing. And then they all have separate courts where they rule.
Maybe they just have several palaces because they're rich and awesome and powerful. And they have this one common palace. Would you say that like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
The Together Palace. And then they have their own palaces in their own courts as well.
Well, I hope we'll see. But what I found even more interesting than just one shared palace is that a barrier around the palace means there is magic in the mortal realm, right?
That was also my second thought.
High five!
Yippee! Right. I think that's just a plain confirmation for mortal magic, and that's quite interesting.
Or at least defensive mechanisms that actually work. Like, I mean, we've heard in the first book that there was this traveler who put some runes on their door to ward off Fae.
That didn't work.
Yes, but maybe there are like actual experts in like a place that can afford them.
It would have been very funny if Tamlin came there and just couldn't enter.
Yeah.
It would have been a very different story.
In book 1, yeah, it would have been maybe a better story for poor Feyre.
I mean, maybe they even, like, if they're these powerful world leaders, maybe they have, like, people that actually went to the Fae realm and came back and have, like, some knowledge and then use that for their own gain. And it's actually magic that comes from the Fae realm, but maybe someone over there learned actual runes and then put them on their own doorstep.
I mean, the book, or like the half of the book, was probably given to them by someone Fae, right? Because the book is Fae.
Was
in
it
a
part
way.
of the treaty? That they give
Maybe.
it to
So
them?
maybe they were like, okay, here's the book, and here's the book's protection.
Yeah.
Maybe the palace was even built around the book. Like, they had this book and were like, okay, we all own it, so put it in a place that belongs to all of us.
That's a funny thought. I like it.
Yeah.
What I found interesting was that Ezreal returned, like, immediately.
Maybe he has teleportation.
Ah,
It's
right.
just we don't really know that.
He teleported the Etta as well, right? Intriguing.
I found it kind of funny that he's so frustrated about it. Like, this comes up more in the next chapter, so we can talk about it then. But it's kind of funny that he's so brooding.
Yeah, for now he's just frustrated and needs to let off some steam. So, like in the fighting ring next to Pharaoh's and Cassian's fighting ring, he spars with Rysand and oh boy, they are topless.
That's just the best. I mean, like, flurrying sword fights, amazing. Shirtless flurrying sword fights, I am happy.
Yeah. And Rhys also has his wings whipped out, so it's quite the picture.
It must look very cool.
And the thing is,
Yeah.
Feyre agrees because she swoons as well.
Obviously she swoons. But we also get a description of the tattoos that they both bear, and it's kind of the same style as Feyre's arm tattoo that she got from Rhys's bargain. And they're kind of throwing up their arms. Oh, sorry, I mean their tanned, muscular arms. And down between their wings in a thin line. And then the tattoos kind of vanish in their pants that are unfortunately still on. So no snakies yet.
Do you think there are arrows at the end of the twirls?
Probably, yes.
Yeah. At least for Cassian.
Yeah.
He needs help finding it.
No, Cassian isn't topless, right?
No.
But I feel like he'd be the one to have elephant ears tattooed on his belly.
No.
Well, and apparently these tattoos are not Night Court tattoos per se, which we kind of just assumed in book 1 when she got the tattoos, but they are Illyrian tattoos that like warriors get when they are initiated as warriors, and they're kind of like a good luck charm on the battlefield. So,
Which, honestly, knowing that makes Rysand putting that on Feyre kind of nice. Because he made her his little soldier, right? I mean,
that sounds so cute if you describe this kind of icky relationship they had in book 1.
yeah, but that's what he did.
Yes.
He was like, okay, I need you to live so you can fight for me.
Yeah.
So he put this thingy you put on people that fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Feyre also reflects on that. And it's like, that's actually a nice thought that he wanted her to find the strength in herself to fight. And that's nice. And yeah, these two topless winged men sweating and fighting is quite the picture. Oh, God. Oh, guys, I think inspiration just struck me. I just saw a title in front of me. Death on Swift Wings. No, that was actually not me. I just did a Fae'd impression.
Damn,
Wow.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was convinced.
Thanks. Because when inspiration strikes, we get painting Fae'd, just a glimpse of painting Fae'd in this chapter, actually. And she just thinks, oh, that would make for a great painting. And then she comes up with this title, which is not a great title, but maybe the painting will be great.
What was the title again?
Death on Swift Wings.
Yeah, it's mid. But,
Yeah.
you know, when that happened, I was a bit surprised because I was like, oh, it's back. But it wasn't too cringy. Like,
No.
I actually liked her description and her feelings about it.
Yeah, hot, sweaty man, just make her get struck by the muse. It's very relatable.
Yes. But I also feel like it's not as annoying because it's like the second instance of painting being brought up in this book. And I feel like that was kind of the problem we had, and I think a lot of people had in book 1, that she thinks about painting fucking constantly. And it's kind of annoying. But here it's like used as a pointed nuance. And then I feel like it can have this effect of, oh, her artsy side is coming back.
I don't think it was annoying that she was thinking about art and painting constantly. What I found annoying was that it just said, hey, I would like to paint. And like, it wasn't...
I could never paint it.
Yeah, there was never, almost never, a description of like, how would I paint it? Like, the whole purpose of the painting was missing. And I feel like in this case, it is there. So I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah.
Right.
The purpose is kind of this, hey, I feel like I'm not quite dying inside all the time anymore. Because in this, the artsy side is just a reflection of that.
Yes.
And I thought it was well done. A round of applause for Sarah. Well, and then, you know, I'm looking forward to find out what this next part is about, because my notes say then we get Fae'd snarky whataboutism.
Well,
and
I remember what it is.
okay, sure, shoot.
The thing is, they're taking a little break from their sparring, and that is the moment when Fae'd can admire the other boys fighting. And then Cassian kind of interrupts her and is like, hey, what about that letter you sent to Tamlin? And Fae'd is a bit taken aback about that. And then the whataboutism is probably like, hey, what's about you and Morrigan and Asriel? And the funny thing is, like in the background, she says, like, I kind of heard them stumble. And probably Asriel's like, what?
Yeah.
But the thing is, when she brings that up, she is in her best form. Because Cassian dismisses that with kind of like, that's old news. And then Fae'd replies, I have a feeling that is what she probably says about you.
Snap, snap.
She's so funny. I like
Yeah,
that. It made me happy. It delighted me.
Yeah. And it's kind of confirmation, I guess, that there's something between Cassian and Morrigan.
But we still don't know what it is.
Yeah, but I
Be a
mean,
bit more clear.
me personally, I didn't really have the feeling that there's something between those two. I thought they were just friends, platonically. But as is well established on this podcast, I am not one to judge because I don't know shit. And I don't catch this romantic tension. So it's nice for me to have this little guiding line for me where the book just tells me, hey, by the way, if you didn't read the subtext, these two are maybe having a thing between them. So I like that. But yes, as you said, Michael, we don't know what it is. What do you think it is?
I don't know if I think that's it or if I just want that to be it, but I think a story in which Asriel and Morrigan dated in the past and then stopped for whatever reason, but they still have feelings for each other, but they can't right now or think they can't right now, and Cassian is some way in there because he's a very fuckable person and also a very good friend to the both of them. I don't know.
Do you think, because we heard that it was Rysand and Cassian who freed Morrigan from the Court of Nightmares. Maybe she was so taken aback by one of these warriors that she first had a thing with Cassian, but Cassian is a little fuckboy and can't commit. And then she met Asriel and was like, "Ooh, Shadow Man, come to me."
Relatable.
As she should, yes.
Yes. But maybe she never really acted upon it because they're friends and she can't break them up.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe now it's just like, maybe she knows that both Asriel and Cassian like have a thing for her, want to get romantically involved maybe, and maybe she's like, if I commit to one of them, it's gonna just break this friend group apart, so I'm not gonna. But I feel like, in my opinion, she's more into Asriel.
Yeah, at least currently.
Yeah. But I think your opinion, Leah, was always that they should just be a polycule.
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy if there were just like a true love triangle going on. I mean, Cassian and Asriel
Could also be
they
a thing.
could have a lot of fun. I can see Morrigan watching.
But I want Feyre watching so we can read about it.
Maybe Feyre steps into Morrigan's mind and sees it.
That's how we get all the sex scenes.
Yeah, at
Nice.
one point, when Feyre is more accustomed to her mind powers, she just has enough of no one telling her shit about this relationship. And then she just kind of peeks into their minds and is like, you don't have to tell me, I'm just gonna search for this information now.
Or maybe Morrigan knocks on her door and is like, "Oh, Feyre, I have to tell you something. Something happened last night. Or I don't know how to describe it." And Feyre's like, "I can look." And she's like, "Okay." And then she looks and it's amazing.
Honestly, it would be very cute for Morrigan to come seek relationship advice from Feyre.
Yes.
Because Feyre has had such accomplished relationships in her life.
Yes.
Feyre's advice be like, don't date Tamlin.
Everything else is game, but not him.
Really, don't do it.
But speaking of Tamlin, Cassian speaking about that letter and the situation in Springcourt, that he closed the borders, like she still hasn't had a reply. And it makes her think about Tamlin again. And she's wondering, like, if Tamlin actually cared that she left. And I was just like, don't ever relapse, please. But she actually doesn't. And she's like, no, he probably put the whole house to ruin. So I think she has a very reflected point of view upon it.
Yes, finally. I think so too. I called him TT in my notes.
TT?
Why?
I thought it was
he's
T-Man.
I feel like sometimes he's T-Man, sometimes he's TT.
But TT, like
Depends.
the letters, or like TITI?
No, the letters.
Why TT? There's only one T in Tamlin.
It's like we sometimes call Lucian Lulu.
Okay.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, makes sense.
It's like you're Eminem. No, you're not. I just made that up.
Wow.
You're
Eminem.
one to speak, Lele.
That was actually my nickname when I was younger.
Lele.
I was never Lulu.
All right, you could be Lulu too.
Yeah. My nickname in school, it was not a nice nickname, was just always Jesus. Because of my haircut. And then all like the older kids would always just say amen when I walked by.
That's sick.
Honestly, that's also an accomplishment. To have like older students
Nah,
acknowledge your nickname.
they did it very mockingly.
Oh.
Yeah.
But like, you didn't look like Jesus when you were younger.
I just had long brown hair. These were not creative kids, okay?
Okay.
Damn.
Well, anyways,
Good
I
story.
guess we are the great gang of Lele, Eminem, and Jesus. Because now my hair is back to Jesus. And I have the beard. I'm basically Feyre
Because she's Jesus.
All right.
in this
It
book,
makes
at least.
sense,
Yeah.
yes.
So, anyways, Feyre starts thinking a lot about TT and also about Amaranth and basically about all her trauma. Maybe it's TT for Trauma Tamlin. I'm not sure.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And she basically puts all of this burning emotion, oh, that was a pun, into her punches because
Punches. There was also a pun.
punches is just a genius pun. I gotta hand it to you, Leah.
Thank you.
And she kind of burns through the training pads that Cassian holds up and then kind of proceeds to break down in tears and eventually says the words she never said out loud. I love you. No, just kidding.
Wild.
And the curse is broken and everyone's happy.
Nice.
Yay.
And she says, it should have been me. because Feyre reflects on, obviously, those fairies she had to kill in the third task in the last book. And then she's like, she had this conclusion in her mind maybe, but she says out loud, it would have been better if I was the one to be killed. And that's a very sad thought.
Yeah. But I really like this whole passage. I was really happy that she finally allows herself to reflect upon all these things. And it was really good to read. And I think it was written quite well. Mm-hmm. And the whole time I was just writing down like truth and preach. Because it was like, yes, you go, Feyre. You reflect upon your emotions. This is great. I was hyping her up. And then she was crying. Yay.
Good job, Lea.
Yeah, it was my fault.
No, but I really like this whole friend dynamic she has with Cassian, because I feel like it takes a friend to be able to just break down in tears in front of someone.
Yeah. And especially the way he's ready to take more punches if she needs to let out more. Like the pad has already burned away and he's like, I can do this.
Punch me if you need to. I'm ready. Yeah, it's very, he's growing on me. He's a good guy in these chapters.
But what I have to say, before Feyre kind of spirals into these thoughts, Cassian notices that his comment put her in kind of an interesting mood, let's say that. And I really like that he validates her feelings, because he says, like, it was just a shitty way of trying to see if you needed to talk about it. But it's weird because he says it so ordinary. Like, the way he says it is like, it's just a shitty way. I don't know. I found it weird to read. It took me out because it just sounds like something your neighbor could say.
It just sounds like a night court method. Rysand is also doing weird shit just to get Feyre to, like, admit something or feel something or do something. So, like, that's what Cassian's doing. Because it works.
Yeah. Do you know what Valaris really, really needs? Is in
A
dire need
therapist?
for, yes,
Or two, maybe.
therapists. Maybe a therapy school. But then we wouldn't have an interesting book, so maybe it's for the better.
Yeah. The thing is, when Feyre reaches that conclusion where she's like, it should have been me, she comments this with, there it was. And like in that moment, Rysand swoops in. And I just thought, and there he is.
That's honestly just a funny image, because she has this intense moment with Cassian, and Rysand is just kind of on the sideline, and then she breaks down in tears, and then Rysand's like, come on, let me handle this. And then Cassian just kind of leaves.
But I love how Rysand's immediately there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he keeps glancing over and is kind of like, what's the situation? Is Feyre okay? But he doesn't intervene. And then when she actually breaks down, he's like, okay, I'm here. It's okay. I'm going to take care of you. But I love more that Cassian and Azriel just continue fighting. Cassian's like, oh, well, he's getting her handled. And
It would be awkward to just watch.
right,
Yeah.
but it's also awkward to just keep sword fighting in the back.
The thing is, like, when
They could have
Feyre-
just left the room.
Yeah, that's right. But I think maybe for that they are too curious, because Feyre describes them later, or like in the next moment, that they are sparring, but they're trying to look like they are not listening. And I can see it in my mind, like clink, clink. What are they saying? Clink, clink. Oh, a sword, clink.
But Rysand wraps his wings around the both of them in like a cocoon
Sweet.
and gives her like a sweaty little wing hug.
Ew.
Right, he's so sweaty.
But she's also sweaty. They're both
Yeah, that's
sweaty.
nasty.
No,
Nah,
but
I feel like
when
if
you
you
really
like,
need it and
yeah.
you really
Yeah,
love
that's
the
right.
you
And
know.
if you like
No,
into
no,
each
that's
other, I
right.
think it's nice to just become a big ball of sweat together. Okay, Lea cannot relate.
No, I can't. Maybe it will come to me at some point. Right now I'm like, ew.
Well, I don't know if in this situation becoming a ball of sweat is what they
Yeah.
want. This is more like, I guess, a sexual thing. But it's just like, in that moment you don't mind. You know, if the shoulder's
No, you're
comforting you
right.
is the shoulder you
Yeah.
need. You don't care if it's sweaty.
Yeah,
That's true.
You don't care if you just kind of slip off it every now and then because it's so wet.
But the thing is, speaking of, it's not sexual. Like, Feyre is like very, oh, it's trailing down there.
Right.
That's basically what it says in the book.
But you did the funny voice.
Well,
We should start a petition for Leah reading the official audiobook.
what have we there?
And then they proceed to do some trauma bonding.
Yay.
Because Rysand, as you might have guessed, is also quite traumatized by basically his life, his existence. Because what's quite sad for us, he felt the same way when he buried his mom and sister after they were slaughtered. And I say this is sad for us, not because these fictional people died, but because we were so convinced last episode that his sister is totally still thriving and going and alive
And evil.
and maybe evil, and maybe there's some interesting story, but no, she's dead.
Maybe she's undead and evil.
He buried her.
And then she came back. Have you never seen a horror movie where they put their hands through the soil of the grave and come back out and be
Put your
evil?
hands up in the air.
And then they do a little zombie dance.
Zombie.
Yes.
We also had a theory that his mom might still be alive.
Yes.
Maybe she's undead.
But do you think, like, I had to bury them, I thought it should have been me. Do you think he had something to do with their demise? Or, like, unwillingly or something, I don't know. Or
Maybe it's
was it just revenge and survivor's guilt, I guess?
Yeah, maybe it's one of these I wasn't strong enough to save them types of situation.
Yeah, maybe. But
So
Feyre doesn't
cliché.
ask,
Yeah.
so we don't know.
It makes sense that they're dead because he says Morrigan is the only family he has left.
Yeah.
Yes. I just edited the last episode and I vividly remember us saying it would be the most boring thing if they were just dead. I think sometimes stories need that to like ground themselves, but for me personally, I've read and seen so many stories that I will never believe that a character died if I didn't witness it. I feel like the plot twist of a character coming back will never get to me. Never ever. But I feel like what does get to me is the plot twist of a character actually being dead. So here I was surprised.
But the thing is, as we said last episode, we didn't know he had a sister. And then he just casually mentions he has a sister. And so we were like, okay, there has to be a point to it. And now
Yeah.
she's dead. And the thing is, there can be a point to him having a sister and her being dead if that means something for his character. But if that just means, yeah, my family is dead, then there's no point for him to have a sister. And please don't write pointless things in your book.
Maybe
But we will
something
find out.
about her is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out.
And maybe she's undead.
And evil.
Yes.
And sexy.
That for sure.
Obviously. Everyone in this family is sexy.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Rysand ends his little therapy session. I guess he's like the only therapist at Night Court.
That's why he knows everyone.
Right. He does not catch a break. He has no free time. And that's also why everyone at Night Court is so bad at dealing with their feelings. because
Rysand
he's
is
the
their therapist.
therapist. No, but he ends it with the Rice sentence. You can let it wreck you or learn to live with it.
Morrigan said it better.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
feel like it kind of summarizes it and I think makes like a valid point and a true point about trauma. Like these are your only options because you cannot undo trauma or forget what happened to you. So I guess in this instance, maybe he's a competent therapist.
Well, if you taught her how to live with it, that would help even more. But
Yeah.
Kyle.
Maybe her health insurance just doesn't cover it. He's
only
just-
one advice per week.
His therapy is just like, well, yeah, you are fucked up. See you next week.
Thanks.
And then Rysand kind of explains the firepower again and confirms that this fire gift is from Autumn Court.
Boo!
Why don't you like Autumn Court?
Isn't the Autumn Court guy evil?
Yeah, right.
He's
Lucian's
undead
dead.
and evil.
I think he's
Lucian's
still
dead.
alive, and
Oh, sadness.
Rysand actually drops the name of Lucian's dad.
Oh, I forgot it. Is it like Baron?
Baron.
It's Baron.
B-man.
Beron.
It sounds a lot like Lord Byron, which would make him gay. But I guess we know he has a wife.
Obviously, if someone is married to someone in these medievalish times, they cannot be gay.
But I wouldn't want him to be because he's evil. I mean, I would want him to be, but... but I wouldn't only want him to be gay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to be the only
Yeah.
Right.
queer character, because that would just be queer coding. But if
Yeah.
everyone's gay, also the evil people can be gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's called Baron, or maybe Biron.
Rune.
Baroon. We don't know the pronunciation. But he's shitty because he's Lucian's dad, and we had this whole backstory in book 1 of like him being evil.
He killed Lucian's girlfriend.
Right, yeah. And then Lucian just kind of fled to
Tamlin.
noble guy TT, Trauma Tamlin.
Do we know how they got to know each other, Tamlin and Lucian?
I think we had theories that were quite gay.
Right.
Yeah. And for me, that's just headcanon.
But Tamlin probably just visited Autumn Court, right?
Yeah, I
Right,
think
as
we
a High
thought,
Lord or
yeah,
son
they
of a High
just
Lord.
met at like
They had a
galas.
play date. Like the parents met and they were like, boys, go play.
Oh, and did they play? And Feyre, as I, wonders if Lucian is okay. It's like the first time in a long time that Lucian is brought up.
I
And
miss him.
she wonders what he makes of all of this situation, and also if Ianthe still preys on him.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Icky thought. I mean, we had the theory that Ianthe just kind of jumped on Tamlin as soon as he
Probably.
was free. But it would also sting if the next time we meet up with them, she's like engaged to Lucian.
I don't think he would do that.
Yeah, but if Tamlin makes him do that, like for relationships, it would suck. But I think Ianthe and Tamlin are made for each other because they are both blonde. Blonde people stick together.
They also all know each other.
But I have a wish, a thought, a hope maybe, that this, the dimension of Lulu, means that she might be in the next chapters.
As an
because-
emissary.
Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. We might have an opportunity to meet Lucian in the next chapters, but more on that later.
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, she's bringing him up again, putting him in the forefront of your memory. Let's go. Give me that
Very
fox
promising.
boy.
Okay, wrap the chapter like Rysand wraps Feyre.
So Rhaera goes on to flirt a bit. Feyre suggesting he put a shirt on and wondering why there aren't more mirrors in the house given his arrogance. And Ezreal and Cassian find that quite funny. And so we're just kind of back on the casual flirty banter between Feyre and Rysand. And I think Rhaera is about to happen every moment now. And I thought it might happen in the next moment because the chapter ends in a poetic way. Because Rysand just kind of talks about the different kinds of darkness.
Yeah, I love that too.
I did not say that I loved it.
I loved it.
No, I didn't not like it. It was just like poetic. And I'm not always very open to that kind of poetic shenanigans in my book.
Should I read it? Because
Yes, if you have a stronger connection to it, maybe read it for us.
because that's the quote I wrote down. I marked it.
It's the quote you wrote. When you were 16, you actually helped Sarah James write this quote.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. So he describes the different forms of darkness the following way.
Dark, very dark, super dark,
And black.
slightly grey. Sorry.
That would be so funny. They're surrounded by starlight. And then black, super dark, lightly dark, and grey.
50 Shades of Black with Rysand.
He has a whole play about it. So this is obsidian, this is ink.
I mean, she's an artist. She should know.
Yeah. This is true black, this is void, this is dirt. It's not as dark as void, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more muddy.
Yeah. So the quote goes as follows. There's the darkness that frightens, the darkness that soothes, the darkness that is restful. There is the darkness of lovers and the darkness of assassins. It becomes what the bearer wishes it to be, needs it to be. It's not wholly bad or good. I really like that.
Nice.
Yeah. I like when stories take something that usually has a negative connotation, or from the story to this point had a negative connotation, and then point out like, hey, there are actually several shades to this. Ha ha ha, shades.
Yeah.
No, because, you know, like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, they do that with fire. Like the whole time you only learn that fire destroys, and then fire also gives life and stuff, and I really like that.
And you can also tell Harasand probably practiced this whole speech just so he can wrap up Fae'd in a cocoon of darkness at one point and just deliver that line. And it's like, yeah, I'm just deep like that.
Or maybe he's awesome and just pulls it off the cuff.
Richtiger Dichter und Denker.
He's thick and thinking.
Did you practice this line, or did you just came
I'm
to you?
so awesome.
So just like
I just
Farah,
came up with it.
So you're thick and thinking.
Yeah.
just like Farah, you were kissed by the muse. Thick and thinking.
Can we please put that on like mugs and t-shirts and stickers?
Getting fake.
Yes,
Thick and
please.
thinking.
That's what Farah should call this painting, honestly.
I don't think Ezreal and Rysand were thinking.
No, they were just thick.
And
They rarely
sweating.
do.
Oh, that was amazing. I'm kind of proud of myself.
So, by the way, they are engulfed in a literal cocoon of darkness.
It's not just darkness.
That's the beautiful thing. Like, it's sprinkled with starlight.
Oh, well, okay. I just kind of didn't notice that part.
But you know what's funny? How
No.
both of her love interests in like book 1 was Tamlin, who showed her like the lake of starlight, and now Rysand is like showing her the night sky filled with stars.
But stars are pretty. So
Yeah.
No.
I can understand that would be getting her in the mood. I have to say I found it really beautiful. This
Yeah.
whole starlight cocoon thing.
Sounds very calming, cozy, nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, she says it in those words. She says it's soothing her, and for the first time she can think, but it did feel soothing while reading it.
Yeah, it also feels like a power that I would like to have. You know, when you just sometimes just kind of want to disappear for a moment and you can just do that. You're like, okay, I'm overwhelmed by the situation. Darkness cocoon, starlight gazing. And then you just spend a couple of minutes in there and come back.
The thing is, you wouldn't disappear. There would just be a dark blob at your place.
Yeah, but no one could see me.
Yeah, that's true. What I found funny was that she's actually not like caught off from the world, but Ezreal and Cassian are still fighting. And she's like, oh, they're probably using it as an exercise, fighting in the darkness.
It's funny how often this chapter mentions that Cassian and Azrael are still fighting while they have their heart-to-heart talk.
That also means they're not like in a cocoon of darkness, but it's just like spread out everywhere on the top of this house. So if you're in the city and look up, it's just there's just darkness suddenly up there.
Happens every Tuesday.
Our Lord has one of his episodes again. Oh, he just wants to stargaze.
It's a
as he
therapy
does.
session again.
Or maybe that's also just his thing. When he
Yeah.
like brings girls home.
Yeah, oh, he has a girl up there again. He doesn't put a sock on his door. He just makes darkness on his roof.
I mean, that would be my go-to move too, if I could do
Yeah.
that.
That's pretty awesome.
I'd be like, girl, I'm gonna show you some starlight.
It's probably like Tamlin takes every single girl to this lake of starlight.
Right.
And says the exact same lines. But anyways, I really thought they might kiss
Yeah.
then and there. But it didn't happen. They just, they have romantic tension, and then Rysand is like, maybe go take a shower. And then Farah lets
Asshole.
Cassian carry her home.
Well, maybe he wasn't ready for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's a man of pretty big words, but then maybe he got cold feet.
True. Also, like when they're going out, Feyre is wondering, like, has he been with anyone and does he want to be with anyone since Amarantha?
But this is a different story in the next chapter. So let's get to the next chapter.
Yay!
Oh.
It's called 31.
How enlightening.
Why was that so funny?
I don't know. And this chapter takes place 4 days later, but at the same location, so it's still training time. And it's quite casual. Cassian and Feyre still practice, and then Amren is also there, just kind of watching, making snarky remarks, and cleaning her nails with
Based.
a bone.
She's so
And
awesome.
She's awesome. And she lounges in a chaise.
I think
Is
that's
that how you pronounce
the
it?
thing, like that, the depiction of Romans where they lay on and eat their grapes.
Long.
Yeah,
Eat the grapes.
it's a French word again. So it's just like fancy furniture from Jeremy.
Yeah.
Import furniture.
Jeremy. But important thing to point out, Feyre is fighting with weapons now, not anymore with fists.
Oh,
Pretty cool, pretty cool. I like that.
what kind of weapon?
Daggers.
Ooh.
2 daggers? I think so.
But then we get a revelation. And excuse me. Feyre joined them at Rita's, the local club. And that like happened 2 days ago and we were not there to witness it. It just jumped ahead.
Paige.
That's so mean.
That is so rude.
Yes.
How dare she?
It's not okay.
But at least we get like a recollection of the events of this evening.
I was really mad that happened off Paige.
Yeah, I felt quite betrayed.
What the fuck?
We were so looking forward to it, and now it just got taken from us.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very funny what Feyre describes she and
Yeah.
Asriel did. But I would have liked to be there. I would have liked to join, you know?
Yeah.
We were uninvited.
But Michael, catch us up to speed. What happened?
Well, Feyre doesn't really dance. She just sits in a booth with Asriel.
Also
And
relatable.
they watch Rysand at the bar, who gets approached by both man and female.
By the way, is that like the first queer rap in this book?
By Rap Rysand! I mean, he has a very bisexual aura.
Yeah.
But then Faye, they all... I mean, they're all so old. If you're that old, why would you, like...
Just stick to one side of the menu.
Right.
The thing is, I feel like for me that's like not actually that kind of approaching and flirting, but like the notion that people of both genders approach him is so normal for me, that image, that I just overread it. I didn't register it even. And now I'm like, how did I not appreciate this more when I read it? It's the only crumb I will get, probably.
Maybe. So yeah, both male and female fairies come up to him, but he turns all of them down. And Feyre and Asriel play a game of like who goes up to ask him and who doesn't, right?
Yeah, I think they notice that really a lot of people are interested, but not all of them approach him and
so
actually ask
they're
him
like,
to dance.
okay, this person is gonna go and ask. And Asriel is apparently very good at this game, which is incredibly funny because he apparently cannot talk about wanting Morrigan.
Also makes him a good people reader, which is very important as a spy.
Right.
But yeah, Rysand in the end does not go home with any one of these people. So Feyre does not have to be jealous. But you know who is jealous?
Cassian.
Cassian, because allegedly Morrigan left with someone and is quite hush-hush about it because she's like, yo, I don't need to tell you what I do. What the fuck? So it's quite some tension there. And I had a thought.
I also had a thought.
Me too.
We all had a thought.
Did we all have the same thought?
Let's say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. So
Well,
I
maybe
thought that
she
maybe
went
Morrigan
out
went out with someone. Okay,
Just
this
doing
doesn't
some
work. Mikey, you first.
Do you think she wasn't like going out with someone like in a sexual way, but she was going to meet someone in a shady way? Like she was selling some information, or she was, you know, evil shitty.
I mean, we talked about this. We
Yes.
had this theory that Morrigan is a precedented character not because of her ways, but because of her position in the story, to be the one that does the betraying.
It would be so good, but it would hurt so bad.
Yes.
And you know what? Just think about it. Tamlin taking a turn, Ianthe being shady, now Morrigan. It's always the blonde people.
Right.
Lea,
I forgot she's blonde.
Lea, we have to talk. We do not want to have you on this podcast anymore.
Did you sell information about our podcast?
We just don't trust you.
Well, do you need trust to talk about smut?
Yes.
Fair. I noticed it when I said it. That's a fair point.
When I open up about smutty themes,
Yeah.
I want to have a safe space.
That is very valid.
And I cannot have that with your hair color.
Should I dye my hair?
Yeah.
Should I turn...
Oh, you said
Dye
my
it
hair.
red.
I thought you said, should I dye? And I just said yes.
Micah!
What? Do you always look at me when he does something bad?
Because I need your protection because you're my best friend.
Yeah, I can protect you from him killing you.
Yes, please.
Okay, don't kill her.
Okay, if you say so.
I'm gonna take away your scissors and your knives.
I found the other part that I found shady.
Yeah.
Because Feyre kind of says like, yeah, Morrigan practically lives at Rita's, which is the bar, as you said. And so she spends a lot of time there, or says she spends a lot of time
I
there.
thought so too.
Moments where she could maybe meet up with someone shady. Or she's just a party girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this turns out to be true, it's well done foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's also the reason why this isn't a full scene. Because if you read a
Right,
full
yeah.
scene where this happens, maybe you catch on to this foreshadowing more easily.
I can also see that this as a full scene might not have worked that well because it wouldn't have given us that much. Because Asriel and Feyre would have played their game. It would always be like probably a description of a fairy or a fae person. Like, yeah, oh, they won't do it. They will do it. They did it. Or they didn't do it. And then, huh? Where has Morrigan gone?
I would like to read that. No, but for now we're stuck with chapter 31. And it continues with Rhysand arriving and bearing some important news. And also setting up the next chapters and the next episode.
Yes.
That will drop in 2 weeks wherever you get the podcasts. Because here's some news that apparently the High Lord of Summercourt, Tarkin, invited him over to talk stuff. Because Rhysand wanted to approach him and talk to him. And obviously they have the plan to take Feyre and maybe steal the book that Feyre can track with her summer magic.
Yay! The thing that made me go yay as well is that Amren is coming! Yay! Rhysand made the choice to only take Feyre and Amren with him, but they also make a wild choice that they just want to rob the Summer Lord while they're there to test him because he's young and untested. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Will the next chapter just be a heist?
I mean, it should be a heist because they need the book. But why steal other stuff? Like, no, I'm lost for words.
The way Rhysand says it is also so funny. He's like, well, maybe the book's guarded and we can't steal it right away, but maybe he has a lot of other cool stuff that Amren could use, so you can just steal that.
That's so wild.
I think he's just in pursuit of Amren because she doesn't really want to go, but he's like, maybe you can steal some valuable stuff. And then Amren's like, oh, okay, that sounds nice, I guess.
Does Rhysand just every time he comes to Summercourt wreck Summercourt? Because, let's be honest, he brings Amren because Amren is very capable. And also because everyone's afraid of Amren, but also because Cassian is banned from Summercourt because he destroyed a building, apparently. Awesome noodle incident.
Mm-hmm.
Just casual Cassian things.
Cass.
But Cassian is a bit like taken aback that he is not allowed to come, and then he questions everyone that is coming, including Feyre, which I thought like he has a little bit of a point with his concern about like launching Feyre as an official member of the Night Court. But you know, this is the plan. This was the whole plan, to take Feyre to Summercourt so she could find that fucking book.
Yeah.
This concern is a bit late, my man.
Maybe he just didn't listen when the plan was presented.
Should Feyre go? No, she should stay here. You have a point. Let's blow off this plan.
Let's just go have a nice dinner at Summer Court and
You
then
know,
return.
he's not the brains. He's the muscles.
Come on,
Yeah.
that's not brain. That's just... I don't know what this is.
But very, very small detail that I caught. But Rysand's like, well, no, Cassian, I need you in the mortal realm.
Yeah.
Which made me very excited that there would be some more NASCAS time. I mean, obviously off page, but it would still mean that maybe like we now go to Summer Court and then we come back a while later. And then we go to the mortal realm where we have our headquarters now. And then Cassian and Nesta already have kind of formed a sort of relationship. Like not a romantic relationship, that would be very quick, but like a, you know.
Working relationship.
Yeah.
They leveled up.
I didn't even think about that he probably goes to Nesta and Elaine, because I assumed he is supposed to assist Asriel with getting through that barrier.
Oh, that could be it too.
But it still makes sense that they would have a base. Like, if they need more time to get through the barrier, that they would establish their base.
But maybe they will just take Nesta to the Queen's Palace.
And make her queen.
Maybe they like need a mortal to get through the barrier.
Nesta is too stubborn for the barrier.
Yeah.
She just walks right through.
Icon.
Yeah.
The rightful queen.
But with these pairings, Amren, Rhys, and Feyre going to Summer Court, Asriel and Cassian going to the Queen's Palace, that leaves one person alone at Night Court.
No.
Whom we've been kind of, like, not actively, but maybe passively worried about.
I mean, she's basically running Night Court.
Yeah. But who do we think would she betray them to?
I mean, the obvious thing would be the King of Highburn. But I don't see... She would have to have...
I think there's a middleman.
She would have to have, like, a strong reason to do that. And I can't really see
The
that.
question is, who is the middleman? Like, it could be Tamlin, but I don't really see that. I was thinking just now maybe...
Of course it's Tamlin, they're blonde. I'm sorry.
I was thinking maybe like a parent or sibling from the Court of Nightmares who
Yes.
has like a lot of influence there, and maybe they hold something over her. Or...
Too much speculation.
Maybe it's Dracon.
Dracon and Miriam.
Dracon.
Oh, I remembered
Our
it correctly.
favorite couple. Or maybe Morrigan's the red herring. You know, we're supposed to think she's the one, and then someone else turns out to be.
No, not my shadow boy, no.
What did you just say?
How dare
Not
you?
your shadow boy.
Right.
Nah, I feel like it's too early for a red herring, because the fact that someone is spitting information has not been presented to us by the book yet. It's just us
Right.
making shit up. Maybe, I mean, we have two possibilities. Either we just read on and see what happens, or we sit here for 2 more hours trying to come up with our own theories. So let's do that, maybe. A long special episode. 3 hours of content.
Jesus Christ.
Where we just brainstorm ways for Morrigan to betray us.
Or we could sit down, read the book.
But first we have to finish this chapter, because there's still some flirting happening.
Flirty flirt.
And Feyre describes how this flirting feels so easy and fun for her. And she's like, oh, maybe I deserve this. And I was like, yes, you deserve this. You go get her. Yeah. Go have some fun, girl. Yeah. And I very crudely, not crudely, bad, just bad, draw a heart and a crying emoji, but it's a very bad emoji. It's
I drew a very ugly heart too.
Well, the heart is not that ugly. The emoji. I tried to draw crying eyes and the open mouth, and it's like, ah! But it's so ugly.
We could also put a photo of it on our story.
It's really fucking ugly. It's wild.
If you want to see this fucking ugly emoji, just we will post it on Instagram at Getting Fed Pod.
The thing is, they go on flirting and they still don't kiss. And at this point, I was like, they're just teasing me. I need them to get together now.
So we end this episode the way we started it. No kissing.
Wait a minute. Do you think there might be going something on between Feyre and Rysand?
No, they're just friends.
Sometimes you have weird ideas.
I don't know.
Right.
Well, I also have a weird hope. I don't think it's weird. It's just my hope that I want to see Lucian again.
Yeah,
in the next
me too.
chapter.
I really hope he is at Summer Court.
Chances are high.
But the chances are also high he's not ready to betray Tamlin yet.
No, but we can just check in with him.
Oh, I miss him.
I feel like our first meeting Lucian again will be kind of sad. You know, them admitting that they still like each other and Feyre maybe being angry and Lucian being like, I kind of get it, but I cannot betray Tamlin right now. And Feyre being like, well, that makes me sad, but I kind of understand you. And it's just a very sad scene. And then they part ways and I cry and I draw ugly emojis. And
I can also see that he's angry at her in the beginning.
maybe.
I think we have to do one thing now, and one thing only.
Go home.
Keep on reading
Yeah.
the book.
You're so wise.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks for your wisdom, Lucas.
And if you listeners at home want to get more pieces of my wisdom and our combined wisdom, you might consider following this podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, you might consider then tuning back in 2 weeks when we discuss the Summer Court Gala.
Probably. We
Quite
don't actually
probably,
know if
yeah.
something else happens before, but it's highly likely.
Yeah. And if we not only see Lucian at this gala, but maybe you listeners also, that would make us happy. We can have a big party.
Yeah, let's all have a big event, dress up. But if you can't wait that long, you should visit our socials at Getting Fae'd Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And there you can find some memes and highlights of this podcast where we have some unhinged discoveries and theories or just fun.
Yeah. And you know what you should also do before this big party? That's right. Invite some friends to the party. Because what really helps this podcast grow is word of mouth. So if you maybe have people in your life that are into books, that are into podcasts, that are into fantasy, that are into romance, that are into romantasy, that are into comedy. No, we're not funny, scrap that. Then maybe you can just recommend this podcast. Because that really helps. Thank you. Say thank you.
Thank you. And until then, you will hear us next time when we are
Getting Fae'd!